Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Emmanuel S Agbogun say Iyaloja Union get right to exist. He say e don show say Edo State government welcome them. Make I leave you, make you hear from Emmanuel S Agbogun. The message we bring come today. Enjoy the video.
National Union of Road Transport Workers is just a union, so therefore other unions should not exist. It is just that because of the fact that a lot of people want to whip political sentiments, this Iyaloja of a thing, even in our markets, you still have provision sellers union, you still have tomato sellers union, you still have vegetable unions, and you overheard the governor said he wants to put a stop to all of these illegal unions. Now, if you ask me, this Iyaloja of a thing, is it what the government wants to welcome? For me, you have seen that the government of the day had, hosted their union. This is a union that is headed by the first daughter of the country, the daughter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And because a lot of our Bini mothers feel threatened to the fact that the government of the day wants to work with them, do not forget, the government is not entirely a permanent stay. It is a structure that must come to exist for a given period of time in line with the constitution. So for me, I don't feel our Bini heritage is threatened, because whatever market unions they will be appointing or doing never with is to work with their unions, with the government. And it has no long-standing effect on our traditional system. But constitutionally speaking, an Isha man can come to Edo and form a union and be the head of that union. An Edo man can go to Akuko Edo, a Bini man can go to Akuko Edo and form a union and be the head of that union. It must not be that a Bini man must be the head of the unions, for crying out loud. Yeah, a warm good morning to you all my conscious Edo people. I remain no other person than your noble right activist, Comrade Agbogun Emmanuel. And if you're just joining me live, I want to say good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon to you all, wherever you're watching me from across the globe. Yeah, this very morning, I choose to come out to speak about this Iyaloja and Otagbogbo trade market women group that has, beclouded the obvious discussion of socio-political and cultural activities as it relates to the day-to-day affairs of Edo. A lot of you have said a lot of opinions, some of which I would just highlight, because I saw some persons on ITV talking about some persons being beheaded. I saw some other persons with write-up like Barrister Jefferson or Woginye. I saw him talking about the sacred shrines in our market. I also saw a lot of persons, trying to whip up sentiments as it relates to the Iyaloja and Otagbogbo trade union that was introduced to Edo State by the daughter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. One would agree with you and with me that the Benin has since reacted to say it is an avenue to ridicule their long heritage and sociocultural heritage of market activities and unions, as the case may be, from time immemorial. You see, one thing I want to talk first before going into my position is that a lot of persons haven't shied away from what our ethics as Benin people always be, to always say the truth, have tried to whip up sentiments each time issues that relate to the palace, is being spoken about. Firstly, let me say rightly here that despite the fact that a lot of Benis feel threatened, the activities of the Iyaloja, the Otagbogbo, and the Tinubu's daughter, it's highly constitutional, in line with the Section 40 of our Constitution that has to do with freedom of expression. That has to do with your expression of association, freedom to associate. If you agree with me, you understand the fact that the Section 40 gives rights to freedom of association, to create trade unions, to create political parties, to create, associations and name it. Your right to freely associate, in as much as you are not hindering the law and order of a people. Now, the question to ask is, has this Iyaloja, has it infringed on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Because we are governed by laws. And the answer is no. I strongly believe that a lot of legal minds have chosen to remain silent, despite the fact that they know the obvious, in our constitutions. And owing to the fact that people have tried to whip politics into it, owing to the fact that these activities took place in the government house. Do not forget, the Edo State government is an APC-led government. The broader association of this Otagbogbo is for political interest. And one would believe that in line with the Constitution, there should be freedom of expression as to association. Now, agreed that our monarch, our Reverend Monarch, Omonobane Dokwa Apolopolo, Oba Eredewa the Great, the second the Great, Oba Atokbe, he said, had come out to say this is alien to our tradition. Agreed. But in line with our constitution that is supreme, as far as Nigeria is concerned, the union has every right to exist. Let me cite an example here. You agree with me that you have National Union of Road Transport Workers on one road. You have RETAN, I think Road Employers or something union. You have Drivers on Wheel. You have there's one other one again that I used to do some work with during the COVID. I think that's headed by one of our brother OZ. You popularly know him in Benin. These are all trade unions. These are all road transport unions that represent the interest of people. Will you now say because roads, National Union of Road Transport Workers is just a union, so therefore other unions should not exist? It is just that because of the fact that a lot of people want to whip political sentiments, this Iyaloja of a thing, even in our markets, you still have Provision Sellers Union, you still have Tomato Sellers Union, you still have vegetable unions, and you overheard the governor said he wants to put a stop to all of these illegal unions. Now, if you ask me, this Iyaloja of a thing, is it what the government wants to welcome? For me, you have seen that the government of the day had, hosted their union. This is a union that is headed by the first daughter of the country, the daughter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And because a lot of our Benin mothers feel threatened to the fact that the government of the day wants to work with them, do not forget, the government is not entirely a permanent stay. It is a structure that must come to exist for a given period of time in line with the Constitution. So for me, I don't feel our Benin heritage is threatened, because whatever market unions they will be appointing or doing never with is to work with their unions, with the government. And it has no long-standing effect on our traditional system. I would quote you right, because a lot of people choose to talk about what pleases them. Over a period of time, my person had come out to condemn certain issues that has to do with the Okaigele ships too and the Odionwe ships too within our Benin society. Many of which had seen rebuke, some of which have been applauded for saying the truth. But the question to ask is, are all of these rights respected, including that of our traditional institution that we ought to expect from them? The answer is no. So when you talk about our tradition being mocked or being, chastised, for some of us, we agree to that sense. But we also apportion a blame to the institution. There are certain things that they do that they ought not to be doing, particularly showing some high level of decorum when they ought to speak out. For crying out loud, this whole incident was sent to Edo State since April, and the incident was to take place in September, or rather in October. The silence, that took place all this while not until the last minute. It would have set the stage right. So for me, I strongly believe that we must, in all ramification, begin to correct those abnormalities as Benin people that we do not want. Because looking at it from a very perspective, there are certain things that have brought disrepute and disrespect to our traditional institution that we keep quiet over. This Otagbogbo issue for me is a minute matter, if you choose to ask me, because it is in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As you are seeing me here now, I have every right to come out and say, I want to create Social Media Influencers Association of Edo State. Nobody will say no, or Benin. Nobody will say no, because it is whether I have followers or not that matters. The followers you are talking about that went to the inauguration with the Tinubu's daughter, are they not Benin people? Are they not mothers? Are they not market women also in their midst? Have you not been seeing the mixed reactions? So people have every right to come together for one's interest. They have every right to come together. So the earlier we begin to define certain things as a people, the better for us. And let me quickly say something here. There's no law in Edo State that is being amended to recognize the Iyeki as a market union, despite the fact that we have had speakers of Benin extraction and we control the highest number of seats in the Edo State House of Assembly. That is to tell you the distance between our lawmakers and the way of life of the people. If there was a law known to the laws of Edo State as it is today, that Iyeki are the recognized unions in line with the Benin native law and customs, I do not think anybody will go against such a position. A lot of people will want to whip sentiments. Just as I'm seeing here, somebody is saying, what nonsense are you saying? Is this the same union practice in the north or east? In the north or east, can I go to Lagos to create such a union? Yes, you can go to Lagos to create such a union. You can go to say, if you have followers in Lagos, to say Iyeki Market Union, you can go. If you are in doubt with me, go to a court, file a suit against the Lagos State government and see whether you will not win in court. It is your right to freedom of association. I can frankly tell you, the Constitution empowers you to even create political parties. The Constitution empowers you to even create political parties. Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution. Please avail yourself of such information so that you can be, well understood in assimilating such information. A lot of people might want to whip sentiments here, but that is just the truth. Agreed, our Benin native law and custom is supreme because I'm a Benin man and I know what it takes as a Benin man. Most times I've come out to speak on certain issues that are very academic and in line with the social welfare of our people. I have also been greeted with criticism because some people feel that the statement I used, even if it was protecting them and fighting for their interests, was somehow insultive to the royal stool. And a lot of people called me to order and I quickly tendered an apology. So in the media space, a lot of people have also used it to whip sentiment that I'm from Agbo, I'm from this. I hail from Isi North. I'm a proud Isi man from Benin Kingdom, from Umwode local government to be precise. I wonder and I laugh at people who just try to whip sentiments all the time, But for setting the record straight, Otagbogbo, Iyaloja and their issues should not in any way affect our traditional system of Iyeki. Nobody will come and hold you responsible in the market to say that you are following an Iyeki. And the Iyekis in the market, we are practicing a democracy where numbers are always in charge of the activities. The market women can choose to say, yes, government has recognized the association, but this is our own. The other market women can say, yes, this is your own, but we recognize this other association. agree to an extent. It shows you the power of freedom of association. So let everybody know that for those persons who feel that the governor should be dragged into this, let them know that the president's daughter is a member of the APC, the governor is a member of the APC, the what's it called, market women that you saw around them are also political family members and friends and associates of the APC. So what do you expect when a larger umbrella comes? You know, and if you even look very, very closely, you agree with me that because of the practice of Iyeki over time has been bastardized. We saw how it was run during the period of Madam Blackie and how a lot of people came out to say even monies that were given to them did not get to them, you know, and they were dragging Madam Blackie here and there. This issue of Iyeki, when Adams Oshomole was governor, he worked with the unions. And if the governor is saying, no, I have somebody that I believe can best fit into that area, the basic thing we should be finding out is how does that now affect our day-to-day benefits in the market? Is this Iyaloja, is it going to reduce the cost of things? Is this Otagbogbo, is it going to reduce the ticketing and other bastardized things that we see happening that has to do with oppression of market persons? Is it going to help reduce it? You know? And for those persons who are also condemning and saying that Ishan in Edo and all that, yes, traditionally speaking, it is not in consonant with our way of life. But constitutionally speaking, an Ishan man can come to Edo and form a union and be the head of that union. An Edo man can go to Akuko Edo, a Benin man can go to Akuko Edo and form a union and be the head of that union. It must not be that a Benin man must be the head of the unions, for crying out loud. So these are one grey areas. And one other thing again I also saw, which I said I will speak on lastly, is because the market unions are affiliated to the palace by way of Iyeki. When they have been elected, they must come to the palace must confine them as, you know, the authentic Iyekis, and they have a traditional role they play in line with ensuring the safety of our markets. That is one area I believe that the Benin should hammer on, by way of saying that this woman should not be allowed to practice that our native law and custom, which is the sole truth, because she cannot, because she's not a Benin woman. So, but for those persons trying to whip up sentiment, I say it again, those sentiments are largely to cause discords. Your rights to freedom of association is freely given by God and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And these are some of the things that modern day realities must always, you know, act on, because people have their rights to certain privileges by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And for those of you who have been saying certain things, I want to let you all know that this Otagbogbo cannot in any way affect our Benin native law and customs. This is just my simple way of expressing myself in line with the Otagbogbo saga that has turned into an ethnic conflict via media handlers. There's no need for that. We are one big people with love and the heartbeat of Nigeria. Let us not beat the heart faster than the heart beats itself. We are one great people. Let us see ourselves as one. Thank you and bye for now.
Now we don't hear from Emmanuel Agbogun. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.